Oh, hey Wyloch. Hey man, I got something really cool to show you. Hang on just one second.
How coincidental. I have something to show you too.
Okay, you ready for this? I gotta turn the lights off.
Alright, check this out. I am Iron Man!
I am Iron Man! Oh, you're kidding.
You can be War Machine.
You be War Machine.
No, you're War Machine.
Come on, man. You be War Machine.
You are War Machine.
You be War Machine.
No, you be War Machine.
Come on, man. I found these things on eBay. You be War Machine.
Scoreboard. I'm Iron Man. You're War Machine. Alright, how are we going to settle this?
Okay. How about a build-off?
Ah, now you're talking. Alright, it's on.
I found this image online, and this is sort of the inspiration for the project I'm going to show you in this video. You can see a central crystal floating above a pad with 4 crystals at the north, east, west, and south corners.
Time to get to work. All right. What in the... Who painted my goggles red?
I started out this project by basically cutting out 3 circles of various diameters. These are then cut in half, so instead of being a 1/2 inch tall, they're a 1/4 inch tall. And these 3 pieces are stacked one on top of each other to form the base where the little LED device will be inserted. I also had to cut a very thin circle for the top that will go around the LED device. Here it is. You can see that I'm going to cut a very, very thin, sort of like a tube that will go around it. I glued the whole thing together, and then I had to cut out the center circle where the LED device would be inserted. You can see me test fitting it here. And then I glued the ring on. After that, I just used a sharp knife and made some stone cuts, and then I wrote a bunch of runes all around the outer edge. The runes are random. They're not a real alphabet, just made up symbols. And after that was done, you can see here I've inserted the LED device and test fit everything. Here's the bottom of the LED device so I can turn it on and off. I gave the base a coating of Mod Podge and black paint just to give it some strength. After I finished that, I had to cut out the pieces for the crystal. You can see here I'm just cutting out these small, irregular stone-shaped pieces that the crystal will fit in. I sunk a piece of foam down in where the LED will come through. It's just sort of a recessed area. Here's a close-up of all 4 of them done. The back side. After that, I had to basically trim little pieces off of those so that they would sit flat on the base, just to sort of make them flush. And then I cut out the 2 bigger base pieces that everything would sit on. I gridded only one of them. The one on the bottom will be ungridded, and the one on top, as you can see here, I'm adding the grid to it. And this will be 1/2 inch, and another 1/2 inch. So it's about 1.5 inches tall. Glued it all together, and here you go. This is a test positioning of all the items.
Cannot believe I am so low on glue sticks. Hi, yes, is this Michael's on Cobb Parkway? Yes, my name's James Kelly. I was wanting to know if you could order me a couple bags of the 1/2 inch glue sticks, the long ones, like 10-inch long. Yeah, just 2 bags. Yeah, place the order. Yes, today. I need them in a hurry. Okay, thank you very much. Bye-bye. All right, 2 bags on their way.
Oh yes, this is the Michaels on Cobb Parkway? Yeah, this is James Kelly. I just called and ordered 2 bags of glue sticks. A mistake there. I need to upgrade that to 500 bags. Yes. $3,500. No problem. Excellent. Thank you.
For the center crystal that floats above the pad, I basically took 3 LEDs and wired them up in series. And I made the wires really long, and I used a piece of aluminum mesh to form the shape of the rock crystal. And then I pulled the wires out of the middle of it. You can see here, this is the item before I dunked it in the mixture. You can see the wires coming out of the mesh and the LEDs inside. I'm not going to go into detail here. I will put a link below for how to make these crystals, but it's basically hot water, borax, and food coloring. And here you can see that the 4 crystals on the bottom are starting to take shape. I used white pipe cleaner to give them a bulk so they would build up. Up next, I cut out the center circle from the larger base. This is where the rune circle would be glued down on, and you can reach the LED device from the bottom by pushing up. I then glued the crystal corners on to the northeast, west, and south corners, and I used the hot foam poker thing to cut holes where the LEDs would be inserted. I had to test fit those to make sure they didn't fall out, and then I hot glued them in. Gave the entire thing a nice coating of Mod Podge and black paint for strength. Then I black bombed it. After the black bomb dried, I used a sponge to give it a stone covering using graphite paint. Here you can see the final painted base ready for everything to be inserted. The LEDs were inserted up from the bottom and hot glued in place. You can see the red and black wires for all 4 of them. Once that glue dried, it was just a matter of adding the crystals to the top. I trimmed them up. Just sort of broke little bits and pieces off to make them look right, and then tested that the LEDs still worked. I had to go into Tinkercad to create the harness that would surround the larger crystal. It took 2 test prints, one small, one big, to find it. Here it is for a test fit with the wires coming out of a small hole that I designed inside it. Here's a close-up of the harness with the little hooks that will hold the chains. And then I basically gave the crystals a coating of blue wash because they were a little too light. I hot glued the larger crystal into the harness, and here is everything ready to be put together. The centerpiece, the center crystal is set on a metal rod that is glued to the glass, the glass LED thing. You can see that here. Notice that the center of the LED is white. And here is my build-off project with Wyloch. I haven't come up with a name for it yet, but as you can see, it has crystals in the 4 corners. They are lit from inside or from behind. There is a large central crystal here that actually has 3 LEDs inside it. I grew this crystal, and I intentionally mounted or included 3 LEDs inside. And if you look right here, you can see 2 wires coming out of it. Okay, those are how they get power. And the wires come out of a ring. There's a small hole in this ring, right? You can kind of see it in there. The chains right here have a little tension on them, and that's I'm using a small, you can't really see it, I'm using a small pin here that inserts into the foam, and it puts some tension on the chain. And the 4 chains are actually holding the crystal in place. Mounted underneath is just a little stand that's glued to the center of the glass here. And there's a hole in the crystal that it goes up in. And you can see it's pretty stable.
My project's done. So, Wyloch, why don't you show me what you've done?
Yeah, man. All done. Here it is.
So I've been really into encounter set pieces lately, and this was intended to be basically a functional room, a functional final encounter. It's like a platform hovering in the ether with a summoning circle in the middle, and it's powered by the magic artifact hanging directly above it. So part of the encounter might be finding a way to break those chains so it collapses, or just straight up kill the bad guy, something like that. Really pretty easy to do, can be done in about an hour, start to finish, and most importantly for me, the plasma clip isn't permanently attached. It slides right out of that center hole, so I can reuse it in some other terrain feature if I want to. And I do intend to do exactly that.
Okay, listen, if you are watching my channel, chances are you already know about Wyloch's Armory and you know Wyloch. So just in case I have the rare audience member out there who's never heard of Wyloch and doesn't know about Wyloch's Armory, I'll put a link in the description below, but you definitely got to go out and check out his stuff. I have to say, this has been a very fun experience. You know, all kidding aside, Wyloch, it was a joy to go back and forth with you on ideas for our project and how we wanted to present the video, and I definitely want to do it again sometime. Maybe we'll make this a yearly thing or something like that. But anyway, I haven't said this enough. Thank you to my viewers, but thank you to Wyloch's viewers who have come over and watched what I did for the build-off. I appreciate your attention, and if you like what you see and you want to see more of my stuff, absolutely, please hit the subscribe button. My viewers, if you are not a Wyloch subscriber, why not? You need to go over there, check his stuff out, and hit that subscribe button as well. So it goes without saying, when you put two engineers, myself and Wyloch, head-to-head, chances are you're going to have some interesting stuff. I like what I did, but I love what Wyloch did. He probably will say the same, but it's just always fun to do a little competition, and it really pushes you to see how far you can go or what kind of craziness you can get away with. Anyway, thank you to my viewers, and this is DM Jim, and I will see you in the next episode.